Viewers. Now, in a significant step towards combating the growing crisis of air pollution in the national capital, Delhi University has introduced an innovative environment AI initiative in the campus. The university has established the country's first carbon garden, which is a unique green space designed to absorb carbon emissions, improve soil health and serve as a scalable model for urban sustainability. My colleague Arzu Seth has filed a ground report and has spoken to Professor Dina Bandhu Sahu, head of the Botany Department and chairperson of the Research, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Council. Let's take a look.
Delhi University has launched a new environmental initiative to tackle with the air pollution and also as well as the soil pollution in the national capital. The DU professor has developed India's first carbon garden in the Delhi University. Right now we can clearly see I'm at this particular garden where several type of plant has been planted, and these plants will absorb the carbon dioxide and provide oxygen. In fact, there are several plants that have different type of quality that can lead to decrease the deteriorating air pollution. And also professor at the university has developed this carbon garden intended to reduce the pollution and act as a model for urban areas. The Professor Dina Bandhu Sahu, head of Botany Department and the chairperson of the Research, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Council, created the garden on the university's campus after nearly 4 years of work. So, well, if we talk about the project comes at a very crucial time when Delhi continues to struggle with the toxic air and declining soil quality, and the garden attempts to offer a scientific and the ecological response rather than a purely decorative one. So the professor also explained that if similar small gardens are created in school, colleges, universities, residential areas and also office complexes, they could significantly improve the air and soil quality. So definitely the garden provides positivity, influence mental health by providing greener surroundings in this dense urban environment. So definitely, as I show you the visuals of these plants that have been planted at this particular campus in Delhi Universities, which will not only look beautiful but also provide cleaner air in the area. I'm Arzu Seth, video journalist Raju for NewsX in Delhi. Well, right now I'm present at India's first carbon garden. Yes, this has been developed at the Delhi University, and this comes at a time when Delhi is battling with the air pollution. The person behind it who has developed and designed this carbon garden is with me, and we are going to talk to him regarding what has this going to impact in the Delhi's pollution. The professor is with me who is behind it, the Professor Dina Bandhu Sahu, head of the Botany Department. Sir, thank you so much for talking to NewsX. Sir, could you please take us through this huge development, or we can say initiative, that has been taken by the Delhi University?
You see, the pollution is rising, and Delhi has become one of the most polluted capital in the country. And there are 70 lakhs people who die every year around the world. And in India, 17 lakhs people die in India alone out of air pollutions. Forget about the water pollution and other places. Delhi, it has become a major problem, and the pollution level is increasing. Not only in the level of carbon dioxide is increasing, but the poisonous gases are increasing. So we are talking about just plantation will do, but that's not going to solve the problems. We know that to decrease the carbon dioxide level, everybody is planting one tree or other trees. But here is a garden which is permanent, which functions 365 a day, 24 hours. And it absorbs the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere along with the most poisonous gases like formaldehyde, methane, carbon monoxides, which are very bad for the health. There are some cancer-causing compounds in the atmosphere. So all these things need to be removed from the atmosphere. So there is no other way except to go for the nature-based solutions.
So, if you talk about what exactly is the carbon garden and how does it differ from the other regular botanical gardens?
You see, the regular botanical garden will have some type of flowering trees, some other types of trees. If you talk about rose garden, if you talk about tulips garden or chrysanthemum gardens, what happens? You will find one type of flowers. If you talk about a home garden or a kitchen garden or a medicinal plant gardens, that solve a different purpose. But this is a garden which is permanent in nature. It has both herbs, shrubs and trees, and it has both aquatic life as well as xerophytes, which can withstand the extreme temperature and high level of carbon dioxide. That is why in this you will find there are 45 plant species which are visible on the ground. Besides that, it has a lot of soil fixing bacteria as well as fungi, which also fixes carbon dioxide in the soil. Another important character is, many people do not know, the bark of the trees contains 1 square meter of the bark of the trees contains nearly 6 trillion number of microorganisms which sequester the deadly gases like methane, carbon monoxide, and many other volatile compounds which are very harmful for the human health. So, doing a big structure inside any cities or NCR or in small towns or big towns to get 5,000 acres of land or 1,000 acres of land or 1 acre of land is impossible. So this is a small 2,000 square feet of land which has been converted into carbon garden with unique plant species. Some are visible, some are not visible, including the algae mounds, which contains the organism which is 1.3 billion years old. If we can set up such type of small gardens in school, colleges, societies, residential colonies, that will happen. It will sequester the carbon dioxide and remove the gases in small amount. So if you have such type of gardens which remains as the permanent fixture, that will be very useful. This should be replicated. One garden is not going to solve all the problem. In Delhi, you see, there are so many things which are happening, and every time we have a pollution, we close down many things. We work from home. See the economic losses which is happening. If you see the data, global data, in a period of 1995 to 2024, there are 430 natural calamities. 80,000 people died because of the natural calamities, because of the climate change. And you know what is the economic loss? 14 lakhs crores in terms of economic loss. So how do we manage this? If everybody combines and makes small efforts, that will solve our biggest problem called as air pollution.
Also, sir, it's very interesting, and our viewers also wanted to, see how the garden looked like. And it's a request if you can take us through the garden and show us what type of plants have been planted in this particular garden.
Okay, if you see this, we have 4 types of snake plants here. Usually people 1 or 2 types of snake plants. You can see these snake plants. They are very useful for indoor pollution as well as the outdoor pollution. If you keep this inside your house, that will purify your air. You don't need to keep a air purifier. You can keep it in your bedroom and drawing room. You can see this, okay? And this also produces oxygen in the night, which is very useful because all of us, we sleep in the closed door. So this will be very useful. Now we have planted amalthas. Amalthas is having 2 use. It is a tree which will survive for 30 to 40 years, and it provides you the yellow flower. And then you have red flower trees. You don't need to completely maintenance free. In one season it will bloom red, another season you have another flower which will bloom blue, and you have these are trees flowers. What happens in Delhi? You don't have many flowering trees. Everywhere it's green to some places, but your flowers gives you a positivity in your mind if you see. So that is one ecosystem. So this carbon garden, it helps you in three things. Once, it cleans the environment. Second, it provides huge ecosystem services, that is urban ecosystem services. Ecosystem services, whether it is religious ecosystem services, economic services, or pleasure you are going about. Then you have, this is also acting as a mini biodiversity park. So people know which plant has what functions and what type of benefits these plants are giving.
So what type of plant have been selected for the carbon garden and why?
So these plants have been carefully selected that cater to the local areas. We are not introducing any plants which are growing outside. We have not introducing or imported any type of plants. It has flowering plants. You can see the flowers, and you can see one interesting structure here. These are known as algae pond. You know that most of the oxygen which we are getting in the atmosphere, they are produced by the phytoplanktons which are growing in the sea. That is the major source of oxygen what we are getting. Here you see this particular plant is 1.3 billion years old. People don't know, and this is a superfood, and this is a microalgae. This fixes a lot of carbon dioxide. Similarly, you will find there is another plant besides these algae ponds. It keeps the moisture content of the area, and it gives an aquatic surroundings. Aquatic ecosystem plays a very, very important role that creates an awareness about what is the importance of the wetlands. Okay. Nowadays, people are filling up the ponds and all the water bodies, and they're constructing building, right? So you need the water balance also. So that's why the concept of algae pond is very important. Only ecological restoration I am not talking about. I am talking about also economic empowerment of the people. We have put moringa. Moringa is a superfood, okay? And it's very expensive, and it's the leaves as well as the fruits which comes out, they are very useful. We have also tulsi, ossimum, which is very, very healthy. So we have put different type of plants. Say for example, we have put a coastal plant. You can see this is casuarina. Casuarina, what happens? It has very thin leaves. This works as a filter. Whenever you have very high wind speed carrying a lot of dust particles, this acts as a filter. That is why you will find casuarina plants are planted in the coastal area, and this is being used as a fuel. So whatever the labels we have put here, now this is having a lot of ecological as well as economic importance. Many people do not know that this is known as pencil tree. It looks like pencil. So this is also very important to know. We have also a living fossil, cycas, which is growing there. Now, if you see, the soil is basically green here. All these area you can find the soil is green. And what is this green soil does? It has a lot of mosses, and these mosses also absorbs all these polluted chemicals. That's why you will find the soil is green. A lot of green patch has come up over here. So it keeps the soil moist.
So, sir, how this initiative is going to, address the air pollution, and can this be implemented in the urban areas as well? Because we see how congested the Delhi's societies are. So, can this be implemented in the urban areas?
This model has been developed for the urban areas where the land size is very, very small. So one can have even in 1,000 square feet or 2,000 square feet or 4,000 square feet, the size can be reduced or the size can be enlarged depending on the amount of area which is available in a particular site. Suppose you are trying to develop some garden which is lying on the roadside unused, so you need to plant the suitable species. Depending if it is an industrial area, it has to be a different types of set of plant. If it is inside the a housing society, it needs to be a different group of plants. So there is solution for everything. If we can have these small carbon gardens inside the cities, inside the college and any working office area, so you will find this will give a lot of positivity, a mental well-being, as well as you will get a cleaner atmosphere, clean air to breathe.
How much difference can be seen? Like if we talk about the AQI, what difference could be seen at this place and outside where there is no carbon?
You are here, you see the area. We started getting butterflies here. We started getting peacocks here, which were not earlier available. You can see the squirrel. You can feel itself. You have
can really feel that positivity.
You can feel that positivity, and that itself shows a lot of results. When you enter inside, you can see that there is no dust particles here, and you come after 1 year when the trees will grow much larger size. In 1.5 years, you see this 6 feet trees has gone into almost 21 feet in size. See how much of carbon it has stored. And after 2 years, you will find this area is full of flowers. You can listen to the noises of the birds. A lot of birds have been attracted. You can hear the sounds. So these are the positivity of the clean air. A large number of people started coming from the colleges, from the universities. People are now coming from other universities to see the carbon garden. My only request to the authorities in Delhi, rather